What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition of your Mystro Industry Roundup. This is December 2nd, 2018, and we're going to jump right into this because one of these is a really big story in my opinion, and I want to talk about it for just a brief moment. So number one on my list is from USA Today, and the title is Uber Adjusts Rate Structure for Drivers. Ride-hailing company Uber is rebalancing rates to encourage drivers not to cancel as many rides. The company stresses that consumers won't see their own fees go up, nor will drivers see an overall increase in their earnings, but instead a more consistent ride for them with fewer ups and downs. For instance, instead of being charged purely for distance, which results in cars sometimes sitting in traffic, the new rates factor in time and distance. Uber sent a note to drivers in 14 cities informing them of the change on Thursday. We're increasing your per-minute rate on each trip so that your earnings are more consistent regardless of traffic or unexpected delays, Uber said in an email to drivers Thursday. Your time is now being valued at a higher rate. Drivers sometimes make a decision to not pick up customers and to cancel the rides if they're short-term, thus not as profitable. The time-based increase is balanced by lower rates for distance, so your overall payout should remain the same, Uber said in its note. In particular, we expect that you'll be able to earn more on shorter trips or when you're stuck in traffic. Uber advises the expected price of a ride up front based on the estimated length and duration of the trip. The estimate can vary as we predict real-world factors like traffic. Unfortunately, the article did not say what cities these were being tested in. All it said is it was 14 cities. Now, as far as the per-minute rates going up, I think that's an awesome idea. That's great. Anytime money is increasing for drivers, that's a good thing, but it was offset by the per-mile rate going down. So I don't know how drivers are going to respond to this. Personally, I think a lot of drivers are going to be very upset about this. They're going to see the increase in the per minute, then they're going to see a decrease in the per mile, and I think that's going to be offsetting to a lot of drivers, in my opinion, regardless of how you try to spin it. But the way it is now, 14 cities, if it works out in those markets, you'll see it expand, and if it doesn't work out, I'm sure they'll come up with a new plan. Moving on. Number two on my list. Uber said to be negotiating a multi-billion-dollar takeover of scooter-sharing startup. Bird or Lime, which one will it be? Uber, the premier name in ride-hailing apps, wants to be known as the go-to destination for all on-demand transportation needs, and so its latest efforts have naturally gravitated towards growing its share of the booming electric scooter rental business. The company seems to have decided that its best path for acquiring a leadership position in this market is to literally acquire the leaders. The information reports that Uber has held talks with Bird on a possible multi-billion-dollar acquisition, and as a fallback, Uber has also been talking to smaller competitor Lime as well. Uber already owns a minority stake in Lime. The partnership agreed between the two companies this summer brought electric scooters to Uber's app for the first time. Bird CEO Travis has told reporters that Bird is not for sale, which may or may not be a negotiating tactic. Of course, there's always the chance that no agreement is reached between any of the three parties, but it does seem like we're going to be heading into 2019 with Uber in a commanding position near the top of the scooter sharing market. Well, it only makes sense. If scooters are becoming a popular thing, and I'm telling you, almost a year ago when I was in the San Francisco and LA area, those things were everywhere. Now, in my local Oklahoma City market, they're just starting to pop up. So that shows you how far behind we are over here in compared to more progressive states. But definitely, this seems to be something that's taking off. I've seen it taking off here myself. So I can't blame Uber for wanting to get in on this, or Lyft as well, which actually brings us to number 3 on my list, Lyft. Number 3 on my list, Lyft acquires Motivate, becomes U.S. largest bike share service. Lyft is completing the acquisition of the U.S.'s largest bike share service, Motivate. Headquarters in New York City, the company is responsible for the growth of the country's most ridden bike share systems, including City Bike in New York, Ford Go Bike, San Francisco Bay Area, Divvy in Chicago, Blue Bikes, Boston Metro, Capital Bike Share, Washington, D.C., Biketown, Portland, Kogo, Columbus, Ohio, and Nice Ride in Minneapolis. Last year, 80% of all bike share rides in the U.S. were completed on Motivate systems. New York's mayor announced that New York City and Lyft will be significantly expanding City Bike, tripling its size to 40,000 bikes. Lyft said that bike share is a natural extension of Lyft's vision to improve transportation access, sustainability, and affordability. With this acquisition, Lyft is poised to help take bike share to the next level, adding thousands of bikes and stations in communities that haven't had access to transportation, making bike share membership more convenient and affordable than ever, and deploying new electric bikes on a major scale. Look at that. We've got Uber acquiring or attempting to acquire the electric scooters, and we've got Lyft attempting to be at the top of the bike share service. Really interesting times as we come to the end of 2018, and I'm really excited to see what is going to pop off in 2019. Thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. We certainly appreciate you. Mystro appreciates you. We hope you have a safe and happy weekend. Happy holidays to all of you as they are approaching quickly. We will catch you guys next week in the next edition of the Mystro Weekly Roundup.